So thank you for being here, and for what we simply will ask is just a fair shot at open competition in the industry. So thank you.
Daryl Steinberg, thank you. Daryl Steinberg refers to my opponent as his third vote on the Board of Supervisors. Have a great night, good evening, vote for Pam. But seriously, this is a race for the prosperity of our region. This is a race of whether or not we choose to take a trajectory that is upward and lifts up those 87% of the construction workers so that they can earn a good living and be there for provide for their families, or whether we let things continue to spiral downward and out of control, and the result of which you passed as you came into this building. But here's the reality. I didn't want to run for this position. I have served on the Elk Grove City Council for 16 years. Given all the craziness that is going on at the national level, I was ready to tap out, go on and do something else with my life. However, I was raised with a mother who taught me that to those who much is given, much is expected. And so I thought, if I give it over to the other side, whoever they are in your mind, if I tap out and walk away, then I'm letting them win. And I'm not fighting for those people, and I'm not standing up to keep government accountable and responsive and nimble and eager, all of the things which I believe in. So I decided, after consulting with Lisa, to go ahead and jump in the race, because I thought, if nothing else, let me lead by example and show that there is a better way to conduct ourselves in the political arena, that it does not have to be a blood sport. It does not have to be so caustic. It does not have to reach for each other's jugular, that we can talk about big ideas, we can strive to solve big problems, and we can do so civilly, passionately, but at the end of the day, where we have to agree to disagree, we can do so, shake hands, walk away, and come back and fight just as hard the next time. That being said, I think I have a pretty strong track record in Elk Grove of success, of creating an economic environment that is prosperous. We have just turned the corner and delivered some civic amenities, the animal shelter, the aquatic center, the community center, and we are just let out an agreement with Heinz International to develop Project Elevate, a 20-acre vertical mixed-use project that can be transformative for the city. And people are moving to Elk Grove in droves. We are not losing population. I gotta say this, as long as Newsom, if he's reelected, we should all buy stock in U-Haul, because that's really the most successful company under his tenure. But anyway, so I think I've done a pretty good job in Elk Grove at the time that I've served down there. I know that I have big shoes to fill to represent the 5th District of Sacramento County, but the big differentiator between me and my opponent, and there are many, is that I actually grew up in South Sacramento County. I actually know where Galt and where Harold and where Ileton are, and that I know the people that live there, and I understand that their issues. And I know that it is not downtown Sacramento concentric. And in fact, for my whole life, those of us living in the 5th District have fought to keep downtown Sacramento in downtown Sacramento, and keep the ideas and ideology of downtown Sacramento in downtown Sacramento. And that has been a struggle, and it's something that continues to bleed out, much like a virus does. I think we have a chance to rein that in. I think we have a chance to say enough is enough. I think we have a chance to actually say that it is not appropriate for law-abiding, tax-paying citizens to be held to one standard, while those who take over the sidewalks and the parkways and everywhere else are held to a different standard. The rule of law is the rule of law. We need to uphold it. We need to make sure that people feel safe when they leave their homes, they feel safe when they're going to conduct business, and that we are putting our society and our economy ahead of the situation that those who are breaking social contracts feel that they are due the rest of us to provide for them. So I thank everyone who is in this room. I thank everyone who sent checks that isn't in this room. If we do not have a fully funded campaign that we can get our message out to the people, to convince us that we're the best candidate, to convince us that we are the best opportunity to pull in the reins on what's happening to the Sacramento region, then there's a good possibility, even with everything in our favor, that we still lose. And if you think that's preposterous, think about this. I know the risks involved in signing a front side of a paycheck, and that's important to bring that perspective. I said this at a fundraiser earlier after the Metro Chamber Packet gathering, that I am not a business-minded candidate. I am a business person who is willing to serve in elected office, and there is a difference, because I don't need to be coached up. I don't need to be reminded of where my fealties lie. I will champion that fair competition and keep government from putting its thumb on the scales and picking winners and losers in the free market economy. And I think it's vitally important that there's somebody there and that we have a board that is willing to take those hard stances and stand up for what has made this country so great. If you have access to other folks who can donate, please. I have to raise $400,000 in 1,300 and 2,700 maximum chunks. And that is eating an elephant one bite at a time. And it's grueling. And then if the voters give me the opportunity, then the hard work begins. The biggest issue I have with project labor agreements is it creates an unfair playing field, wherein in order to be a part of the job, you have to abide by the union rules and pay into the union system and use the union workers. So you're only allowed a certain number of core staff that work for your company that you trust, that you know they're gonna do the work the way you want it to do. You have to pull from the union a haul, you have to pay into the system, and then at the end of the job, if that contractor does not join the union and those members do not join the union, everything that has been paid in stays with the union. It does not go with the worker that did all that work. So you tell me, are they standing up for the workers? I don't think so. The more we can get government out of the way and let free enterprise do what it does best, then obviously you're going to see more work created. And when there is more work created, there is more need for people to do that work. And so what I think we can't do is continuing to enact by fiat or by edict that certain sectors will be winners and certain sectors will be losers. I was just having this conversation earlier that, basically on the same timeline, a young person that decides to get into the trades can go and learn that trade, go through their apprenticeship program, come out as a journey member, as a skilled tradesperson, and in this time that it took the person to go and get their college degree, which may or may not have value to their chosen career, that person is likely to graduate college with a student debt. The other person is on their way to earning a six-figure salary with zero debt. And so, but what we've done is we've demonized work in our society. And in fact, if you want to listen to somebody that really is on the ball about that, Mike Rowe talks about the fact of that, dirty hands and clean money is really a good way for America to operate. And yet we look down our noses and think that there's something wrong with people who come home tired and dirty and sweaty. And I disagree wholeheartedly. All right.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.